This one last
Woo!
had to go. Thanks, guys.
Woo!
Who's your ship?
Fucking dude. Woo!
Woo! Worlds apart. We are worlds apart from some of our favorite people right now. It's tragic. We're upset about it.
They had to go. I don't know.
Well, we didn't make them go. That's unusual. Welcome to Fantasy Sports Addicts Anonymous. My name is Tom.
Hi, Tom.
I'm a fantasy sports addict.
And my name is Ryan.
Howdy, Ryan.
And I, too, am a fantasy sports addict.
Woo! Yeah, so like we were mentioning, some people had to go apparently. We don't know where they went, but I think, when we have good managers, what do? We track them down. Don't we track them down, Ryan?
Oh, to the goddamn ends of the internet.
Yes, all the way across every part of the internet. So we're missing Joe, the Angry Mets fan. Where'd he go? He had to go. Where did Bronson go? He's on a milk carton right now. Like literally.
Have you seen this addict?
Yeah, have you seen this Bronson? He's AWOL. He had to go. And then we got Josh Swope in our Dynasty Leagues. Where'd he go? He had to go. Trades getting ignored and rosters not being set and hellos not being said hi to. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, we kind of had to go too. Like, where the hell have we been?
I don't know. It's like a 2-week podcast hiatus. Oops. Where the hell did we go?
I don't know. That's a good question, Tom.
I don't know. We went golfing, right?
Yeah.
And you threw some clubs in the water?
My driver ended up in a lake.
I hate when that happens. Wait, I've never had that happen.
Need to buy a new driver now, god damn it.
Jesus. Ryan, I thought you were a cool guy.
No.
So you threw golf clubs in the water and didn't go get them.
I needed a new club or a new driver anyways.
Okay.
I mean, again, I just don't want. I mean, it's bad enough that I got pissed off and threw it in the goddamn lake. Like,
right,
to be
yourself.
That much of a jackass, where like get back in there. Like, if I had my like ball grabber extendy arm thing, like I'd fish it out. Like,
okay.
If I was wearing shorts, I may like put a foot in to try to grab it, but that's about it.
Okay. Well, I suppose if you're willing to throw it, you got to be willing to let it go entirely. It's right you didn't snap it emphatically first.
I know. That's my biggest regret.
Well, I regret that for you as well. Me, though, I did have to go. I had to go to a bunch of crazy shit with the family and doctor's appointments. And so, yeah, we all had to go for a bit. I don't know. But we're back now. Podcast is live, even if it's on a Thursday, whatever.
So I guess that's kind of what have we been up to.
Dogs are barking. Woo! Sorry.
Yeah.
Pugs are going crazy.
Woo!
AC's turning on. It's 105 here in Phoenix already. It's a dry heat. Woo! But yeah, so today, we're just going to get you caught up on some things and some things going forward we'd like to talk about and do with the channel. First of all, speaking of the channel, we're a year old, Ryan. We've been doing this a year.
Holy shit.
A whole year old we are.
Man, it feels like a hell of a lot longer.
Yeah, kind of. Well, it's not like, it's a year, but because each season is its own grueling exercise and sadness, I guess, for me. I don't know. I think we're doing too many teams.
Yeah, that was something we were talking about earlier.
Maybe just keep it to one account. I know side accounts are fun, but for me, it's like personal investment's so minimal. You can't you never make the same, like, do I add this guy in 16 teams or, and like you were saying, you don't have players to root for because you're essentially just rooting for everyone now.
Yeah, I'm just watching like, the stats or the ticker tape while I'm watching a baseball game. It's like, yeah. And it's like everybody that goes, like you got 16 teams, you got damn near like everybody. And then like you're happy, but then you're pissed off because you're going against the guy in another league. It's just a whole bunch of fucking nonsense.
Right. You don't even know which team you're cheering for at that point. That's why I love my clone teams in our dynasty leagues. I love doing that, and that's for that reason. I know who I'm rooting for. I know what I like. I can look down and see, hey, Arenado, woo! All right, my team, go. But that's I think the tail of the tape. We're just overinvested, too many teams. Speaking of that, as we said, we had to go. I mean, I left a few trades hanging. I know that. I don't normally do that, and I feel bad about that. Unfortunately, one of those is on a side account. So side account gets almost no love. Side accounts get neglected unless you're like a much more hardcore addict than even we are. I would say, right?
I mean, again, honestly, some of our fellow addicts are that much more of an addict than we are.
I'm impressed. I mean, they're addicts. I love it, but I can't do it. I can't. I'm getting too old or something. I don't know.
I mean, we've kind of talked about this in the past, and like we weren't necessarily going to even do this many baseball teams, but we just ended up doing that many, I guess, because we're addicts and peer pressure from other addicts. Like, hey, man, just one more league. It's okay.
Come on.
One more league.
One more.
Yeah, I mean, come on, that draft sickness.
Yeah, we always get the draft sickness. Like, just one more league, buddy. Hey, you can do it. You got a space left on that side account. I was
sitting there on the fucking website chatting. Next thing you know, Jay Money comes in like, "Hey, I got a draft in an hour."
We're like, "Oh, a draft! I wanted to do one." Speaking of that, we might have to do a mock draft. We haven't done mock drafts in a while.
Well, we got to do some fucking mock football drafts is what we got to do. I mean, we kind of talked a little bit about it, like football, like shit.
It's already here, and I'm barely buckled into baseball,
I mean, I'm not going to lie, like, my baseball season's fucking a shit storm. I mean, you've heard me bitch about fucking Schwarber, but then, like, my pitching where it's, like, Waino and Shelby Miller and
oops.
Fucking Sonny Gray, fucking Chris Archer.
Every pitcher that I invested in, see, that's the thing is I paid for pitching more than you did. You were getting later pitching that's burned you, like later upside pitching, but I was getting like, all right, I'm paid for Chris Archer. Woo! I love me some Archer. And that has just saddened my season. Are you ready for football then? Is that it? You're just like, you're giving up? Are you throwing in the towel in baseball or what?
No, I mean, my dynasty teams are still kicking ass.
Oh, so are mine.
Like, I mean, again, side account, I think, I'm checking Andrew from Fantasy Aid, his money league we're in.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a couple teams on the side account that I'm checking, but I'll admit, even though it goes against our whole active, competitive, and victorious, like, there's a couple teams or leagues where I've checked out of.
Well, let's be honest.
As much as I hate to admit it, like, usually that never happens.
Well, I was going to say, if it's a sinking ship, you know what I mean? It's a sinking ship. You're not turning your back on the leagues where you're doing well in. Even if you got like one or two on the side account, you know what I mean? You're going to pay more attention to those. This happened with me, for basketball, where basically like my side account had like 2 or 3 good teams out of 8 on Yahoo. So that was all right. Check those 2 or 3 teams and focus on my other teams. Focus on, right? Because if you're all spread out and you're not invested like heavily somewhere, you're probably not. You're just going to come in blanket like, well, 3rd place, whoopie-doo. But when you're doing well, you invest yourself in the teams that are doing well, so you can continue to do well and take the league down. That's
part of like being active too, where like, all right, you're spread too thin and you're not being active enough on some of these teams. Like, I don't know.
But yeah, it's like the reverse active and competitive. I don't know. Maybe that goes into the what was it? Not 10 signs, but the what is it? The 12 steps where we're like refusing to get burned. It's almost it's divesting yourself of a losing cause to reinvest yourself for that active, competitive, victorious elsewhere.
Such a elegant way to say that, Tom.
Thank you. I do have a gift with words. Not gonna lie. So
and I have words gift with not.
Oh.
Oh.
Me fail English? That's impossible. All right. So yeah, football. I mean, so you're right. Like you can't. Football's the big moneymaker for fantasy sports. Football's the big stuff. I mean, we're all like baseball addicts and basketball addicts mostly. It seems like, but really, for the bulk population, and obviously fantasy football is what everybody plays, okay? Like your mom's playing, your grandma has a fantasy football team, you know?
Yeah, like not addicts, like, there's, but I mean, you get in work leagues and like, I've never been in a work fantasy baseball league.
No,
but it
I've
seems
not
like
either.
every job I have, like there's a work fantasy football league.
So Yahoo put out the fire drill, it's almost 2 weeks ago now. Or maybe it has been 2 weeks. Or everybody's like, well, football, it launched. Woo! We already started up the FSAA league. There are still a few spots. It's a 14-team league.
Okay, I thought we were at like 11 or 12. Like we got a whole shit ton to join right away, which is awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I think you were actually the last person to sign up for that, or at least the most recent.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm aware, there are still a few spots left available. So if you want to play some fantasy football, jump into our fantasy football league. We don't have a draft date set. We don't have scoring set. We don't have roster positions. I think right now it's set for the Yahoo default, which is 10 teams. We probably need to modify that just accordingly to all the extra managers, and we'll make it fun. I don't want it to be like a fucking half a league just completely out within a few weeks. I want it to be kind of, I want there to be some action, right? Like we don't want teams too big or rosters too big for.
We'll find that good balance. I mean, absolutely, that's part of running a good league.
But we've also got, Joe, if you know Mets fan Joe, who's missing. His league did renew. I don't know if he set it to automatically renew last year, but he's probably just running. I think he's like Forrest Gump. I think he's just gone on this cross-country run where he's just, picture Forrest Gump growing a beard, running across the country. I think that's Joe. I think that's Joe right now. He's been doing a lot of marathon training and just, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Joe's fucking puts us to shame.
Wow, man. I mean, he was, I think he got, I don't want to spill too much personal info. I just kind of want to give a background to Joe. I don't even know really exactly the order of this or how much of this is true. I think what happened here is there was like a breakup a year and a half ago, 2 years ago or something like that. Something went bad, something went south, and now he is marathon training.
And fighting and just working out all the goddamn time.
I guess, yeah, he's working on his anger issues. Again, the Angry Mets fan, and if you haven't seen his tweets at Joe Meyer, wow, I've never seen anybody like want to have the Mets owner's plane crashed. But that's
I don't know, power of anger.
Behold the power of anger! Rah!
Rah!
Ah, yes, Hulk smash. Yeah, his football's ready to roll. If you don't know Joe, he's in most of our FSAA leagues. He's kind of one of our ringers, a guy we've known a long time, and he wins a lot. So
great manager, absolutely.
But I always hate it when we don't hear from him. You know what I mean? Like, because he's usually pretty active. So for him to not be around, I'm guessing
he'll be back. He's just off the wagon at the moment.
Right. Yeah, he's on the wagon.
Oh yeah,
The
because
fantasy sobriety wagon.
yeah.
So he's on the wagon, and I mean, I was on the wagon a few days ago. I haven't looked at my. I hate. Whoa, I wasn't active. I'm terrible. But yeah, so JD Balla, there's a trade offer in the FSAA Roto League, I think, and the FSAA Dynasty League.
Okay.
Something. Well, we all know Andrew from Fantasy Aid loves his Cardinals, right? Loves his Piscotti. And I will say I wasn't too happy with the initial offer. No offense, but nobody ever sends their best offer. I think he's mostly just willing to see if I'm willing, rather, to trade Piscotti. And,
Right.
you know, I like Piscotti quite a bit. And Piscotti's having a great season so far. But, you know, we'll see. I got to send counter offers, I think. So everybody who sent offers that I left pending, my apologies. But
you gotta respond to trades. That's like bare minimum.
well, they haven't like lapsed or anything. These are only like a few days old. So like again, life happens, right? Like you got to be patient. As much as we want like instantaneous responses, you know, the only way you're going to get true instantaneous responses about trades is if you get somebody's phone number and start texting them. And I don't recommend that, by the way.
Right.
That's for a very select few managers. You know what I mean? Like there's a handful of managers that I want to have that close of a communication with, especially when time zones factor in. Because all of a sudden you're getting trade requests at like 4 in the morning.
I don't give anybody my number. Like even my friends and family, like they go through my wife to get a hold of me and like plan shit out. Like I'm really bad with my phone. I don't like phones. I don't like, I don't talk to anybody.
That's what's ironic. Like we have cell phones because this is the 21st century, but you and I are not like cell phone people.
Nah, not even a little bit. Like I don't have like my only apps I have like that I use. There's like a Sports Jeopardy and then Twitter.
Okay, yeah, Twitter, Instagram, only because of our FSA. Otherwise, I wouldn't have either probably on my phone.
No.
Just some maybe like MLB at bat. That's about it. Like really. The rest I'll just like, and I don't even, I don't know. We're not people that need to be in constant communication apparently. So that's, if you want to be super in communication, get somebody's phone number, I guess, but you got to be willing to put up with what comes along with that, especially if you're talking to addicts. I mean, that those texts will be rolling in at hours you don't even want to be looking at your phone at. Like, and if you're cool with that, hey, and like I said, select few for me, like Reverend Nate Dogg, I would like, hey, anytime you got a Reverend on speed dial, you're probably doing all right, like,
right.
God forbid I ever need to talk to a man of the cloth, literally. God forbid that.
All right.
I would, go that length for only a select few. But
speaking of trades,
oh, you got one.
Well, no, this was something that happened to me the other day.
Okay.
It's in the other Roto Dynasty League that we're not in together.
Oh.
Basically, the way the commission, there was some shit last year where like we set up a trade review committee. So like,
really?
So the commission still has like the overall power, but if someone has an issue, then like the trade review committee gets involved and like gives their opinion kind of shit.
So you guys are the table. You're the round table, or you're the You guys are like, it's like a motorcycle club, commission has the gavel, and there's votes taken.
3 of us and a couple alternates kind of a thing.
Does it have to be unanimous for these trades to go through?
No.
Okay, so it's just majority and then the trade passes.
Yeah. So
how do you get on this council?
It's just you kind of volunteer or get nominated. Like you kind of know within the league, like who's there, who's active, like who talks. Like if you're in a good league, you kind of already know who the council is.
Right. Well, I suppose we have our council, a de facto sort of council, don't we?
Yeah.
At least with baseball and basketball.
Most leagues should. It's just this way. It's just a little more official, I guess.
We don't go to the council. We just fucking... Apparently some of us just do whatever the fuck we want as commissioner. Co-commissioner even. Fantasy Satan. Oh yeah, some co-commissions and commissions just do whatever the fuck they want, willy-nilly.
All right, so there was a trade that the trade review committee got summoned.
Okay, was it? I mean, what do you think about this? Because we don't, like I said, we don't do that. We just sort of trust our managers to know what they're doing, and especially in Dynasty, there's no real reason for any trades to get vetoed if it's obvious collusion. But there's never been obvious collusion because you don't run a Dynasty league where there would be. Yada yada. Bark! Hear the dogs going nuts. What is your feeling of this committee? Is it silly?
Oh, well, the only reason why it all happened is because there was a trade that ended up getting vetoing, and like Kamish went off on an uproar because he was part of the trade, and like.
So it was league vote. It was like the league voted, not a Kamish review.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to get the context.
And I actually was the one who like spearheaded the vetoing of the trade, and it wasn't collusion, but like it was a manager who I think has since been replaced, but
somebody who didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think the original trade, I mean, my memory's shit anyways, but it was like Steven Strasburg who was playing like shit for fucking like Brandon Moss, who was like somewhat hot.
Okay, so even though Strasburg could have been broken, yeah, last year was a bad Strasburg year.
Bad first half.
Okay. Well, so busted down, potentially still injured, elbow Strasburg for Brandon Moss, who is probably doing well.
But, I mean, it's still just a shit fucking trade.
Well, because, yeah, all right. Well, in a redraft scenario, whatever. Like, I'm guessing that's more like, again, protecting the value, the inherent dynasty value or the hype value, whatever you want to call it, about certain players. I mean, this is the whole idea of why you probably don't sell low and you try to buy high, because you want to, you want the most, you're going for the value, like.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like buy low, sell high, but just in reverse, because somebody was selling low and some guy was like waiver wire fodder for a massive, like, buy low scenario. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so you were like, exactly. No way. Like I remember this actually. Yeah. You were really pissed about it because you're like, who the fuck just gets rid of Strasburg? And you yourself were dealing with the thought of, in our other dynasty leagues, you were going to get rid of Strasburg, or you were.
I did actually end up trading Strasburg for Robbie Cano, actually.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it wasn't so much like even the trade, like even if the trade went through, like I wouldn't have cared that much.
Okay.
But yeah, it was just, within the dialogue and the message board posts and some shit that the commission said. And like, basically, like I clicked the vote to veto, and then I went to a post to explain, because I'm not one of those managers that will just like veto trade and not give my reasoning behind it.
Exactly.
And so all this, basically, long story short, we ended up to come up with a trade review committee. And like, even though I kind of butted up with the, commissioner, but through our talks and all that, like, yeah, I ended up on it.
Okay.
So anyways, this trade, I mean, it's kind of funny because Strasburg's in this trade as well.
Oh, that's ironic.
Yeah. But okay, so one team trades Kendrys Morales doing dog shit.
Right.
Jason Kipnis
doing pretty well, I believe.
I mean, he's doing what Kipnis does, power out of your second baseman with shitty average.
Right.
And Yordano Ventura.
Okay, all three of those players for Strasburg.
And Mark Trumbo.
Oh, okay.
I mean, obviously, Mark Trumbo's been on fire, and like Strasburg is Strasburg, and like
I don't have a problem with that trade.
No, that's what I said. Like, yeah, there's a team that I think wins, but like really, like this trade is like so far off from having to need a trade review committee. Like, fuck that. Like,
True. But wasting everybody's time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, whatever. Like, 'cause like I said, like the only thing I cared about was whether or not it was like collusion, someone tanking, or just the integrity of the league.
I mean, all right. So the youth value and dynasty value of like a Ventura kind of makes up for a possible like sell low with Strasburg, and then of course there's the sell high element, kind of on both teams, right? With Trumbo and getting Kipnis, and so who else is it besides Kipnis on the other side?
Morales.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like a guy got all right. So he's selling high on a first baseman, giving up dynasty value with Strasburg, but he gets the dynasty youth value back with Ventura. The playing well now from Kipnis. And then, of course, Morales is the balance to fill the positional void at first base with Trumbo, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that sounds like it's an absolute no-brainer on both sides.
Yeah, like to even come close to considering like that being like something that is veto worthy, like bullshit, move on.
Yeah. Now, did you say that?
Yes.
And what was the response?
Basically, one of the other guys on the trade review committee came in and basically said the same thing. He's like, "Yeah, I can give a more in-depth analysis, but like, I agree with Dynasty King where."
You love that name, by the way. Yeah, you just move on. You love that name though, Dynasty King. I gotta mock you a little bit there.
Whatever, it was a name I did way back in the day and stuck with it.
You're the Dynasty King.
Woo!
I'm the Snake, but you're the Dynasty King. I might just switch over to Fantasy Satan entirely. I don't know.
It's more fitting for you.
It kind of is.
But speaking of Dynasty King, I actually just finished up the Dynasty basketball draft.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was going on for a while. What was it? 24 hours between picks and stuff.
Well, we got through a 20-man draft offline in 2 weeks.
Okay, all right.
Which is not bad at all.
Now, if you haven't heard about this yet, if you haven't always listened, I don't know, whatever. Check out our website, fantasysportsaddicts.com. Ryan did some posts on the early rounds of the draft, so you can get kind of a preview of what his team looked like. But right, you're going to tell us. I want to know what your team ended up being.
Yeah, I know. I'll do a like post-draft recap with thoughts on like the strengths and teams and just the draft in general.
Yeah, you can read up on this draft. Now, whose draft is it? Let's mention him.
Right. This is Jordan from DynastyBball.com.
Okay. Pretty good site.
Yeah, good site. Follow him on Twitter. He's got his own Dino B-Ball podcast. And he's actually going to be doing a podcast, like an in-depth analysis of this draft.
Oh, you should try to get in that.
He's offered it to managers to try to get in.
You should get in.
I'll see. I'll see if I can get in when he's doing it.
Okay.
I actually thought about even maybe inviting him on to our podcast and do some cross promotion, and we can talk a little more about this because we've actually even traded with each other. Like, we had a pretty big first round trade.
Okay. Yeah, you did. So, all right, recap the trade. I don't know if we talked about. Well, we didn't talk about it. I don't think. I don't know if we did.
No, just kind of. There's talk on the website and with the articles, and so I mean, there's been talk.
So you were picking what, 11th out of?
I had 11th pick
in a 20-team league.
In a 20, yes, and I had 3 players in mind that I was hoping for with that pick. Karl Anthony Towns. I knew he wasn't going to be there, but he was like my pipe dream hopeful. Like,
yeah, you wanted him to be there. I was like, there's no way.
Yeah, and he actually went number 1 overall.
Not surprised.
My number 2 choice was Giannis.
Yeah. And he went number 2 overall, right?
He went number 2 overall, yes. So my top 2 hopefuls were gone 1, 2.
So you were in the pipe dreaming, buddy.
Yeah, but then my fallback, 11th pick, Dynasty, Andre Drummond.
Okay.
And he went like 5th or 6th.
So you were either in the pipe dreaming or on the pipe dreaming.
Honestly, Drummond should have been there. Like Giannis, I can argue against it. Like, but I felt I thought he could have been there.
In theory, but you don't know how. Again, this is a new league. You don't know how it's going to go.
Right.
You don't know who's got what allegiances or what.
So I had the 11th pick, and
it's down to vets now, right?
Also, I had JD Baller on the website as we were going through the draft, and Anthony Davis kept falling. He ended up going 10th. But like I was trying to trade up to get him at like 7th, 8th, 9th pick, and like
holy shit.
There's a guy in 9th pick where I was in talks for like trading my 11th pick. I think I offered my 11th pick plus my 2nd round pick for his, first pick and his 2nd round pick, where they're just like 2 picks apart. But then he wanted like my 4th and 5th for like his last pick for like to move down 2 goddamn spots.
Right. So he moves down 2. Still could have gotten what he wanted.
Yeah, because he ended up taking Boogie.
Okay.
And Boogie would have been there at the 11th pick.
Okay.
So, anyways, we didn't agree on a trade. I had the 11th pick. And, so I was looking at like Klay Thompson, Lillard, Paul George.
Paul George would have been who I was looking at probably.
Yeah, Paul George, maybe I should have, but talking with JD Baller, decided to try to trade down.
Okay. And I don't like that, but okay.
You don't like that. But again, 20-man dynasty. I didn't have the players I wanted. So I ended up moving my 11th pick to the commish, Jordan, for his like 4th pick in the 2nd round. So it was like 13 picks after the 11th pick.
Okay.
Plus his 3rd round pick, and then I threw in, I think, a 6th round pick.
Okay, so you moved, middle 1st for
an early 2nd and late 3rd.
Okay.
While giving him mid 6th.
Okay. Fair enough. Good balance.
And, so I didn't pick until the early 2nd.
So you had 2 seconds and 2 thirds then.
Correct.
Okay. In lieu of, now I don't mind that. I like that. Right. Like that kind of, especially in Dynasty where there may be still some youth.
Well, and I still didn't know exactly how this draft was going. Like there were a few things in the 1st round where it was like, oh shit. But like it was still 1st round, 20 picks. You can only get so fucking kinky or crazy in the fucking 1st round.
Right. The first 20 picks of a dynasty.
So I didn't know how this draft was going to go, and it gave me some flexibility.
I like it.
So
I like it. I actually didn't like it, but now I like it.
So my first pick, in the 2nd round that I traded for, I took DeAndre Jordan.
Okay. All right. I don't love that, but that's probably about best that's available. So you were going your traditional basketball punting strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm building my team. I like DeAndre there. If I'm putting free throws, like he's huge. So I went with. I'm not. Let's just kind of speed this up. I'll just read off my team.
Okay.
All right. Jeff Teague, C.J. McCollum, Klay Thompson, Serge Ibaka, DeAndre Jordan, Dwight Howard, Shane Larkin, Danny Green. That's my starters.
Okay. And that's this is a 20-team league.
20 man, yeah. Or 20-team league, excuse me.
Woo!
Excuse me.
It's the sound of 2015 pulling you over, bro. You got to be more PC. Women play fantasy sports too.
Yeah. My bench, I'm not too in love with. Like, I did end up trading, like, if you heard me read through, Klay Thompson. Obviously, Klay Thompson was gone before I drafted DeAndre Jordan.
Okay, but so you were able to get like another 1st, 2nd sort of round player later on.
Yeah, with one of my 3rd round picks, I drafted Jabari Parker.
Obviously, Wiggins was gone.
Wiggins was gone. Yeah, Wiggins went like a round earlier at least.
Right.
Like so 25 picks in between. So I took Parker, but I didn't think he necessarily fit my team. And he was like kind of the pick I wasn't the happiest with and felt like it was a bit of a reach.
No, I still like the upside.
But
He had a nice second half.
Yeah, he did. But the way the draft was going, like rookies and youth were fucking premium. And
so
then,
that's why I'm proud of that Parker pick. What round was that you got him?
It was third round.
Okay, I think you said that, but
yeah, it was. Yeah, my third round pick, and so I ended up moving Parker plus my my seventh and eighth round picks.
Oh,
for
Clay?
For Klay Thompson.
Sweet.
Plus like a 14th round or 13th round pick. So yeah, Parker and my seventh and eighth got me Klay, which I love.
Do you know what was taken with your seventh and eighth round picks? Again, this is 20 teams, so it's way deeper than most basketball leagues, unless you're a big 20 team person.
I did, and like
you'll write about it.
Yeah, well, and also this was the guy who I got Klay from was like a full-on rebuild. So there was better talent than what he took. Like I think he took like Mario Hezonja, the Orlando or sophomore shooting guard.
Yeah, rookie this year.
Yeah, so he's taking like these like youth picks.
So it's pretty bizarre. Like, how do you draft in the middle of summer when basketball is in the playoffs? And so this is a team for next year. This isn't like now.
Right.
And I'm assuming, right, they have the rookie draft where you're.
Yeah, that was one of those things, too, where you were able to use a draft pick to take a rookie draft selection. So, like, the number one pick last year went, like, towards the end of the first round.
Okay. Wow. That's early for me, but you know what? Actually, I don't know. I mean, in a dynasty scenario, I don't know. This is interesting though. It's 20 teams, so people are doing different things. But you trading your pick and then being able to trade again later to get Klay. I mean, I don't know.
So I traded a first round pick and traded up to get essentially a first round pick.
So you have like firsts and a couple of like seconds and thirds, or a couple of seconds. So, but you're just the core of your team.
Yeah.
The core of your team ended up being better than what it probably could have been otherwise.
Yeah, like I was real happy with both those moves. I mean,
they balanced each other really well.
You know, basically Paul George and fourth round pick was what the dude took with my sixth pick.
Okay.
Got me Ibaka and DeAndre Jordan.
So, which again follows your strategy.
Yeah, I gave my team that like form that gave my team what it was.
You're 3-D. 3-D. All right. So, when is the rookie draft? When does that happen? Obviously it's after the NBA draft, but like,
it's not going to be for a while. Like it'll probably be once like basketball closes and reopens.
Okay, so next season then. Next
season. So we're just going to be like hanging back.
Okay, and the commissioner, this guy Jordan from Dynasty B-Ball. What's his Dino B-Ball? Get him out again because if you're interested in really crazy dynasty leagues, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you want to get into some of this, check out his website. I actually think we should do a podcast with him, or you guys should.
Yeah, no, that'd be fun. So yeah, I mean dynastyball.com.
Okay. Nice. Good place for dynasty basketball. Now football. Let's go back to that real quick. We already said we got our leagues opening up. I think we should do a fresh dynasty since we have so many more.
Speaking of that, I think we should do a fresh offline draft dynasty.
Offline draft?
I like the offline draft, to be honest.
Dude, we did one last year with those fantasy sports writers. We like bullshitted our way into that fantasy sports writers association league with all these pro fantasy writers and stuff.
Right.
Remember, I mean, there's a bunch of jokers. I mean, that was funny. That was funny being in a league with experts, and experts, like guys that talk about fantasy sports or write about fantasy sports for local sports stations are sending out just the worst crap trade offers, the kind of stuff you'd see in a public league. And that was funny to see. You know what I mean? And like there was one of these guys, I think he was from Jersey or Buffalo or I don't know, somewhere back east. That guy was just the clownish motherfucker on the planet.
So many trade offers that were all shit.
All so bad.
And just no like, leave us the fuck alone already.
Yeah, no, we sent him so many reasonable counter offers, and he just still like would not leave us alone. We're like, dude, we've sent you the only counter offer we're going to send. You're not going to get all the best players on our team for a pile of dog shit or some first week waiver wire pickup. Like, and eventually we asked him to just leave us alone, and he never did. So we had to hit the message board and blow him up on the message board. And then like, turns out everybody else in the league was sick of his ass too. So it's totally like, these are professional sports writers or fantasy sports writers anyways. And they're just as slapstick as a public league. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, again, that league was kind of bullshit. It was on some like third-party site and had all these like ridiculous stats.
Yeah, they didn't.
It was shitty. Dumb. I'm sorry.
It was. Oh well, and that's the thing. But that was what was funny about it. It was just like some haphazard fantasy football league. It seemed like it was just cobbled together like any other crap league you might have jumped in. But it was from fantasy. Like paid writers, people who have to pay membership dues to some organization, right? Like, man, and we just bullshitted our way into that. Like, oh yeah, we're experts.
Well, I think it would be, fun to do. You kind of get, I don't know, you get to know your other managers more if everybody is like active in drafting and.
The offline almost makes it more like, I mean, right? We always like the live drafts, like, oh, all right, everybody be at the draft. Sometimes it's so hard to like set a draft time where everybody can be there, especially if you're playing with people from all across the country with all kinds of different backgrounds and lifestyles and whatever, right? Like, it's always like, well, I can do the weekends, but I can't do Monday through Friday or Monday.
Right, and even our own schedules, or at least mine, is fucking so goddamn hit or miss.
Right. You're either nights or days. And yeah, so sometimes it's real hard to do that with the live draft, but the offline, it's still sort of live. It's just slowed down so everybody can be there and sort of participate and communicate. It's actually not a bad way to go. The only thing about it is that it's not instant gratification. You're not like looking at your lineup that night,
Right.
Yeah. So, all right, should we just do the just offline dynasty, the FSAA offline dynasty football league?
See, Bronson's, we'll do that. Bronson's trying to do our own offline basketball league.
Oh, this year?
Yeah, like
now. Yeah. Wait a minute. I thought Bronson was on a milk carton. We found him?
Yeah, he's been in again, podcast, that's like the Bronson signal in the sky.
Woo! All right, we found him. Hey, no, like don't print anymore.
I picture our logo just getting blasted up into the sky.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. And then, like, it's the Bronson signal. Oh, man. Yeah, all right, so I guess he's no longer stop printing all those milk cartons with Bronson's picture on them because he's been found. So we found one of the three people, 1/3 of the missing element here.
Yeah.
So now we just need to find Joe and Josh. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, website's been quiet a little bit lately. But you know what's funny is there every so often there's a day where like everybody's there. I always love those days.
Yeah, where there's some good chat going on.
Let's again. Let's pump it up
and
one more time.
It's about to get
real busy,
blown up with football just right there. Like, we're a little behind on our football coverage, but we'll do a live stream mock football draft here soon.
Hell, maybe even tonight.
Maybe even tonight.
Do you have a plan tonight? Do you have anything going on?
No.
I don't have dick going on. Let's mock auction some football. We talked baseball, but like maybe mock auction football.
I mean, I gotta get my bearings on football. Like I'm.
So mock auction's about due.
Okay.
All right, what time? What do we? because we're West Coast. Let's set a good time because everybody's East Coast. We say like 5, so it's like 8 p.m. on the East Coast, or like 6 or something.
Yeah, 5:30.
Okay. All right. Mock auction football. We're doing it tonight. 5 p.m. West Coast. Let's call that 4:30 West Coast, and 7:30 on the East Coast. Everybody meet up on the website, fantasysportsaddicts.com, and let's do a mock football auction. Or not auction. I don't know. Maybe auction's a little too much to start out with.
Yeah, no, just snake.
All right. Let's just do a little football. Because, yeah, I'm really excited about this. Oh, I'm going to scratch the draft itch, eh?
Start fucking moving on to football.
Oh, yeah. All right, I love it. I'm loving this idea. All right. Mock draft tonight for football. And again, we always meet up when we want to do mock drafts and do our everyday chat. Like, seriously, Andrew from Fantasy Aid's always there. Bronson's sometimes there when he's not on the back of a milk carton. J Money Smooth.
JD Baller.
JD Balla.
Free balling.
Yeah. Sonic. Everybody's there. So, come on down, hang out, talk trades. Speaking of trade talk, real quick, I want to throw, because people don't tweet us trade questions or advice questions anymore. We just, it's all on the website, basically. So, real quick, we're happy to answer questions on the website, obviously, because that's where we're at all the time. And tweet them to us, though, at letter F, letter S, the word double, letter A, at FSAA. Just real quick reminder, you can also tweet them. It's fun to answer them, and it's really good, PR for us. So, tweet us.
That's really what it is.
Yeah, I mean, let's not bullshit. It's really good. It looks good on our Twitter account, and we're still answering the questions either way. But tweet them to us. We always like that. We do have a couple quick questions, trade related for baseball. James, the live stream deuce guy. I don't know how else to describe him. James, the one and only. That's a term of endearment. Live stream deuce guy. He's asking about should he trade offer Chris Archer for Joey Bats, Jose Bautista. And I would personally probably do that. If you can so you're a guy that's scuffling for a guy that's scuffling who might have a higher ceiling than the guy that's already scuffling. You know what I mean?
I mean, honestly, redraft, I'd take Joey Bats before I took Archer anyways. And then with both their seasons, yeah, absolutely you take that.
That's one of those, if the guy needs a little pitching and you need some bats, I like that. He's also talking about a situation here, Arrieta for Stanton. And I don't know if he is giving up Stanton or Arrieta. Personally, with how good Arrieta's been, I don't think I'm going after Stanton. Stanton's been Stanton. But I don't know.
I'm not trading Stanton.
Well, again, it's dynasty or redraft.
Either.
I'm not trading.
I value hitters more than pitchers.
All right, here's the deal. I wouldn't trade Stanton in the dynasty league, but in redraft, I'm not trading Arrieta. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I disagree.
So you would
Stanton over Arrieta.
I mean, it depends on the team's needs.
Yes,
that's the main thing. Who needs what? But Arrieta's just, I don't know. It's the Cubs, man. It's how do you? And James, if I'm not mistaken, is a Cubs fan. So why if you're trading Arrieta, why? Unless you're getting a Rizzo or a, Bryant in return.
Right.
I don't know. So anyways, hopefully that was helpful for James.
And so again, keep the questions coming.
And yes, come into our Twitter account also, hopefully. We like them. We'll also do some more Q&A videos if you guys send us enough questions. We like those Q&A. Those are easy to rip off and do. Gives us more viewership, things to look at, things to do. We've got some belated trophies to hand out still too. So
yeah, a couple
stay tuned for
videos that still need to be up.
Yeah, somebody, editing guy got fired. Apparently he had to go. But yeah. Also, one last thing before we go, I want to close with this. If you would like a special shout out in any of our podcasts or videos, all you have to do is do what J Money Smooth does. You go hit that donate button on the YouTube page, click donate, buy Ryan a beer, buy me a cup of coffee. You can buy us a keg of beer. We don't care. Hit that donate button. Feel free to give as much or as little as you like. You know, we ain't getting paid for any of this. It's just fun. So
yeah,
we've been doing it a year now. We still haven't made any money.
Oh, far from it.
Oh yeah, but it's been
money.
We love it. We love it though. I mean, come on, hit that donate button. Try to answer all the questions we can, and we give out special shout outs to guys like J Money Smooth.
Woo! Woo! All right, join us tonight on our website for the mock draft at fantasysportsaddicts.com. Subscribe to our podcast, iTunes, Stitcher, thumbs up. Give us a goddamn review too, please. And
yeah, we're still looking for that. We haven't gotten a review in a while.
No, it's been like, I think Andrew's our last review.
Thank you, Andrew from Fantasy Aid. Well, that is unacceptable. We demand more reviews.
You guys made it through this whole podcast and not giving us a review yet.
Hey.
Boo.
Boo. Boo. What kind of addict are you? Okay, yeah, check out our website, fantasysportsaddicts.com. Send us questions on Twitter at letter F, letter S, the word double, letter A, at FSAA. We're going to see you tonight. Mock football draft. Roughly, go to the website, 4 West Coast, 7 East Coast. We'll get it all set up.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, we'll see you guys then. Everybody have a great Thursday. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching or listening. Woo!